Hey everyone, this is Jess here, putting them in the same order as up here. I don't know, just playing with them. Hi, I am here to show you guys the new modern collection. Just got launched last week. So these are brand spanking new and have already been super popular in the salon already. So I'm really excited to show you guys these colors, swatch them out. Currently, you can get them in the mini set if you want to just try them out. Or if you are a mobile nail tech, the mini set ones are awesome to have because they are small and they will be easy to pack. So I'm going to get right through it because I have about 20 minutes before my next client. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start one at a time. Hello, hello, hello. Please feel free to ask me questions. It's always way more fun if you guys are chatting. These look so pretty. I'm excited to see these brights. Yeah, I'm really happy with them. I'll put gloves on because otherwise my hands get a little bit in the way and I don't want people to be focusing on my nails because it happens sometimes. I just did them. So I took Allie's class Sunday and then they were too long. So I had to shorten them and redo them a little bit. They're a little bumpy because I put some glitter on them and then top coated them real quick. But before I'm going to Mexico next week, so before I go to Mexico, oh, my poor finger. Before I go to Mexico, I'm going to give them a quick buff and then they'll be perfectly smooth. But this is one of the foil collections. You can see how I added the little bit of glitter and stuff in there. And I love the foil. And I've been messing with different techniques with it. And I think I finally mastered keeping it from peeling away. So I will talk about all that some other time. Right now we are going to talk swatching. So if you have not gotten these yet, or if you have, if you're thinking about them, hopefully this will help you decide which ones that you just have to have, or if you want to just get the whole collection. So far, I'm really pleased with them. I don't do a ton of yellow, so I would say probably the yellow is the only one that I won't use quite as much in the salon. But you do get, when you get the whole collection, you do get it at a discount. So for the price of having the extra, it's kind of worth it. All right, so this is the new modern collection, modern color. So we're going to go ahead and just swatch this. So it's a nice, good, solid blue. Goes on really creamy. If you haven't used Luxio much, you might be surprised at just how much coverage you really get with one good coat. It's really beautiful. So this is modern. It actually looks a little smidge brighter on camera, but not by much. It's a pretty beautiful bright blue. So I'm going to cure that. I'm just going to swatch each one and then I'm going to go through and show you guys the comparisons so that you guys can see for yourself how it compares to some of your other favorites like Lookout and things like that. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and grab Juxtapose. It's so funny. So I don't know if you guys know that there's always the French on the back because Akzentz is a Canadian company. And sometimes the back of it, what one was I looking at? Like the name is the same, but there was one that, I can't remember what it was, but it was funny because it was the name of a different color. Anyway, sorry, tangent. All right. Yes, you're hoping for comparison to modern Lookout. When I saw it, that's what I wanted to see as well. So this one, you're going to want to see a comparison of this color and Engagement, which is an extremely popular color, especially coming up in the spring. I use Engagement a ton. This one, though, is definitely brighter, which it's gorgeous. It's really pretty. Again, it looks in my phone, it looks a little bit more green, but on my tablet, it's looking a little bit more blue. So, hello, Sajara. It is so nice to see you. So, I love this one. Very excited to use that one. I was like trying to make it work with my nails, but I picked a foil that had like 0 turquoise in it, really. And so I'm like, I'm just going to have to use it next time. Hello, Jade. Hello, everyone. If anyone has figured out how to make the comments stay, that would be awesome because I hate that they disappear now and I can barely see anything at all. So it like puts it up there, and if I'm looking down, I miss it. All right, Contempo. So if you are someone who has clients that love yellows, this is a really good one. I have a lot of beautiful black ladies, and they love their yellows. So I do a lot of yellow. That being said, I do have an announcement that Akzentz has discontinued the yellow glitter shifter from Gel Play. So I am huge with putting glitter shifter onto Sunburst for a neon sparkly yellow. So I was super, super sad to see that they've taken that away. So we have a couple of jars left. So if you are someone who likes to use glitter shifter on your Sunburst to create a very beautiful bright neon yellow, you might want to grab them before they're gone. All right, Chi-Chi. Is this Chi-Chi or Chai-Chai? See, this is like, I would say it's Chi-Chi because it's like there's no AI, and now that we have chai tea, you know, you think of chai as being C-H-A-I. So I would say this is Chi-Chi. But I was really excited about this color because I'm always up for a new bright kind of neon pinky purple color. And I'm going to show you guys the comparison of this one to Elite and Sassy, which are kind of the closest that they've come. But this color is fabulous. I did use this on my nails. I actually used this color and Modern both on my nails. But it's so pretty. Again, it is bright, but I feel like my lighting maybe is making it look even a little bit more neon than it actually is. But it is a nice, bright, beautiful dark pink. All right, I'm going to start taking some of these out so I don't smudge things as I add, you know, because I do things like that. So if you haven't used Akzentz before, you can see how good the coverage is with one coat. I do use 2 coats in the salon, but if someone's really late, for example, it's a really good way for you to get their color on their nails and not run late for your next client. So it's a good cheating method. There are some, I know there's some techs like in Russia and stuff, and they only ever do 1 coat. So I don't know if it's habit or wear or what, but I always do 2. But when it comes to these 2 colors, doing 2 coats can give you a different effect. So this is Timid, and I'm going to be comparing this one, I believe, to Demure, because it's a semi-translucent. And I thought at first, I'm like, well, it's kind of along the lines of like Blush and Delicate and Cremel and Demure, but it's a little bit different shade here. So it's a semi-translucent with 1 coat. So if you apply it thin, you can get kind of that sheer peach look. So if someone likes to see their natural smile line, you can give them a little bit of that peach look with this one with 1 coat. It still has a pretty good, I mean, it's not super, super translucent, but just enough that if you did have a smile line under there, you should see it. So that is Timid. Gloves, I get polish on me. Whenever I wear gloves, I can't handle it. And Aloof. This was the first one I used in the salon when this came in. My client came in, she's like, I'm looking for a taupey color. And I said, hey, I have a new taupey gray that just came in. She's like, that's what I want. So this is Aloof, and it is a beautiful taupey gray. So if someone likes that milky white, again, this one, you could put it on thin enough that you could probably get a little bit of that milky look to it if you dragged your brush. So what that means is remove the excess off of your brush, and if you drag the polish on your client's nails and you're pulling it off at the same time, it'll self-level by itself, but it will give you a more translucent look. So there you go. You can see my hand underneath it. It's like a milky white with a slight gray taupey tint, and you can do it over the nail and it not be totally, totally white. Does that help? It is a unique color. Absolutely. Hope said that's kind of unique color. It is. It's definitely different because it is a gray. It's kind of a taupey gray. It has a warmer tint to it than Composed. So I'm going to show you the comparison with this one and Composed and Cashmere and Wisp, so you can kind of see how they compare. All right, here we go. So, I just scooted my chair too far. Okay, so I'm going to do a second coat of this one and Timid for sure because it is semi-translucent. I want to make sure we get some good coverage. Okay, so looking at some swatches, and I was going to get them out and swatch a ton of things again, but I just honestly don't have time. So what I'm going to do is these swatches are relatively new, because after a couple years they do start to fade and not look as new. But what we can do, I'm just dusting and making sure that we can see all the colors really, really well. Okay, so let's start with Modern. And we're going to compare it to a couple of our favorite colors, like Lookout. This bright, bright blue from Lookout is really popular. So how do these compare? I'm going to put my fingers behind it so you can see. Oh my goodness, it looks like it's the same color here, but it's definitely not. Let's see if I can angle it so you can see the difference. Is it picking up the slight difference in hue? This is definitely darker and deeper. I think you can kind of see it there, that it's deeper. It's nice and bright like Lookout, which I love because Lookout is so, so, so popular. But it's definitely a bit darker, a bit deeper. What I can do is show you. I'm going to take this swatch of Lookout. And maybe if we swatch side to side, you guys can see the difference a little bit better. Sometimes you just have to try to get it in the light just right. Okay, that helps. Okay, so you guys see, it's definitely deeper than Lookout. So you get that color difference, but you still get the vividness. So if Lookout's just not quite dark enough, this would be a great addition to your collection because you get that little bit of a deeper tint. Did you guys see that? All right. So that is the best comparison I have as far as what's the next closest color would definitely be Lookout, but this one is certainly darker. So I really liked it because what I was going for in my nails is I wanted it not quite navy, but a little darker than Lookout. So I was super happy about that. All right, let's look at Composed. So Composed, we're going to pull out our greeny ones. So a little fun fact, Akzentz original Tiffany color, like the first one, was actually very similar to what Engagement is now, but it is not the same. So once people would start calling in and say, but Tiffany boxes they're much more green. And so they decided, okay, so we're going to make Tiffany much more green. So this is Tiffany. And they made it to match an actual Tiffany box. So that is Tiffany. Whereas this is Engagement. And most of your clients that come in and want Tiffany blue, they're going for this color. They're not actually going for Tiffany blue because Tiffany blue has quite a bit of green to it. So where does Juxtapose fall in line with these? It is brighter. It's even brighter than Brazen. So this is Brazen right here in the middle. And if you can see that, it's even brighter than Brazen. So it's totally different than Engagement. Engagement has more blue in it. I would say it's closest to Brazen, but a little bit lighter. Maybe even on the family of Intuitive. But you guys see, this is a great one to add because it is definitely super different than the ones that you have. It's going to be insanely popular. So I'm super excited about this one. And this is the new Juxtapose. Such a fancy word. I'm like, how do I spell that? Oh, my hands are a little sticky. Okay, let's stick another coat on these two real quick. Here's our yellow. We're going to talk about that next. And we'll talk about this one next, but let's stick a quick coat on these ones. Just because I want to get a solid look, but if you guys can see, you can see my finger underneath them. So I didn't quite do the dragging technique with this one as much. I did actually float it on, so it's not as translucent as it could be, but you guys can see that you can still see that it's translucent. So these two are designed to be semi-translucent with one coat. Okay, so they give you a little bit of that freedom for your clients. But if you float it on, then you'll get more of a full coverage look. So there you go. I know the brights next to each other. I had done my nails after Allie's class, and I'm like, they look so 80s. Like, I feel like these are like the quintessential 80s colors that have making a total comeback. And like together, it looks like 80s, but separate, they just look like super fabulous colors. But together, I'm like, oh, it's an 80s, like, it's homage. So there you go. You guys can see that that second coat's really good and solid. So I'm going to get those curing as long as I don't drop them. All right, Contempo. And this one is probably going to need a second coat as well. So Contempo is a yellow. Let me tell you what yellows do. Yellow pigment is extremely opaque, and it is very hard to cure yellow pigment properly. And I might have even put that on too thick. As a general rule of thumb, when you apply your yellow polish, apply it like you don't want it there. It just needs to go on so unbelievably thin, because I do find that you will end up with it not curing properly. People come back in and they have a little bit of a separation issue because some of it cured and some didn't. So I'm looking at this down here to see, did that pull a little bit, not cure, but it did. It's fine. You learned the lesson with Dauntless the first time you used it. Yes, it's, you know, but it's been that way with all yellows. Like I'll try different brands of yellow, and I find it's the same thing. It's just the pigment is so, it's a white pigment and then it adds color, right? So it's just a very opaque situation, and it just does not like to cure. It likes to drive us bonkers. So apply your yellows really thin, like put it on and then brush it off, and that's going to give you the best curing possibility. I have lint in this and it's just not welcome to the party, I swear. All right, I'm gonna stop playing with it. All right, so let's go through and talk about Chi Chi. All right, so Chi Chi, I'm going to grab some of these purpley colors, and I think this, where's Sassy? I'll grab Sassy too. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, how does it compare to all of these purples? And I feel like it's closest here to Extreme, but it's more pink than Extreme. Do you see that? Definitely on the pinker side than Extreme. Okay. Extreme has more purple in it. And again, I can show you by just doing it on the swatch. Do any of you ever do this for your clients and they're like, which one is more of this? I'm like, I don't know. Let me just polish it on and I'll take it off in a second. So I polish it on and I'll show them. But there you can see how it's more pink than the other one is more purple. Extreme's more purple. This new Chi Chi is more pink. So it's closer, I want to say to Sassy, which is hiding from me. There it is. Well, maybe it's not closer to Sassy. I just think of Sassy as being like one of my favorite bright colors, but that's like way pinker. It's definitely closer to Extreme. So this is close to Extreme, but brighter and more pink. Okay, does that help a little bit? All right. Just a few minutes, so I better move on. Okay, so this is Demure, and I'm going to do the opposite thing this time. I'm going to show you the new color, Timid, and I'm going to paint Demure next to it so you can see. But I'm thinking that this is probably the closest in color, but you can see how different they are. So you get that a little bit more tan, a little bit less peach. It's almost like a deeper blush in a way. So I think it's going to be really popular because blush is insanely popular. But just a little bit more tan, a little bit more color to it than Demure. So that is Timid. And Aloof, this really cool color. I just think this color is so, like you said, so unique and so different. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with cashmere. So I'm going to polish a side of this with cashmere so you can see the difference in color. Totally different, okay? But if you go, oh, it's way more gray. Well, yes, but when you do this is composed, this is the grayer version, you can see that it's much warmer Do you see that? So I feel like this is just a really cool combination. Oh my goodness. Who just said that? Imagine the ombres, Jade. You said that, and then I did this, and I'm like, ooh, that's a really good idea. So if I have a wet in the middle, so if you be careful and you don't get it on there, you can actually ombre it wet on wet, just like this. Ta-da! Then you get this total ombre effect. How's that for fun? Good idea, Jade. So yeah, that would make a really cool ombre where from one side it looks more like a nude, but then the other side you get a little bit more of that gray effect. So you get this beautiful ombre with those three. So when you do that, a lot of times I'll have a wipe nearby and I'll just wipe my brush off, but it looks like I got it all off anyway. But yeah, super easy way to ombre that. Do you guys ever ombre like that? Did I just teach someone something? If I did, awesome. I love when I teach someone something. But you can ombre very easily by just doing that really quickly. So again, if you want to know what colors these were, it's composed. That's the grayer one on this side. Oh, my next client's here. And aloof, which is the new one in the middle. And then cashmere, which is the taupey one on the end. So if you take the three of those and you do those three stripes, and you can just brush down really easily and you can create that ombre. So I hope that was fun for you. All right, guys. That is the swatching for the new collection. And some comparisons and some fun. Oh, I have one in here still. The yellow. Oh, I forgot to show you. So, Contempo compared to a couple of yellows. Let me just show you that. It's totally more like Dauntless. So if you think of your yellows and you're like, oh, it's not like any of the lighter ones, it's a lighter version of Dauntless. So Dauntless is very popular. And do you see how much lighter that is? It's a nice light. It's bright. It's definitely a nice spring color because it is brighter. But it's definitely warm like Dauntless is. So really great, really popular. Obviously not cured. I just touched that. And I must not have, you have to hit the button when you don't have fingers in there, and I must have forgot to hit the button. So let me do it again, because I know my clients are going to want to see all of these bad boys. All right, guys. So again, they're available right now, shipping right now. And you can either get them in the mini set or the full size. They're all going out. These are limited edition. Once we sell out, they're gone. If you have any questions, let me know. I mean, I'm going to post this to YouTube, so it will be available in the future. And I'm working on trying to make it so that I can stream on all platforms at the same time. I'm just not super technical, but I'm working on it. All right. We will catch you guys next time. I still need to do an unboxing of Studio 6, and I plan to do that because I do love them. They are beautiful. So I'll do that next time I have a break, but I'm about to do nails now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.